To learn how to say dates, we need to learn all the days in the week. So there are 7 days in a week. We typically say Sunday is the first day in our week. However, sometimes people will say Monday is the first day in the week because it is the first business day. Business days are from Monday through Friday, and we also call them weekdays. These are typically when people work or they go to school. Saturday and Sunday are called weekends. People typically do not work on weekends. If you have trouble remembering these days, there's a quick song that might help. I'm not the best singer, but I'll try and sing it anyways. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and then Wednesday, there's Thursday, then there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. So yeah, that's a quick little song in case you ever forget. That tune might help you remember. Okay, there's also 12 months in a year. Um, yeah, there's another song for that. I'll sing it, but I'm not a very good singer, so please bear that in mind. January, February, March, then April, May, June, July, then August, September, October, November, and December. These are the months in the year. Okay, I'm not a good singer, but that tune might help you remember months, and the other one might help you remember days. You need to know these, so please, if it's the tune that helps you memorize or just brute force, make sure you know these. All right. So a month can have 30 or 31 days, but February has 28 usually. To categorize the days in the month, we use something called ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers are how we modify. Modify means change our original numbers into numbers that are more appropriate. For example, to say the day one in a month, we would say the first day in the month. We wouldn't say one day of the month. We'd say the first day of the month. For day two in the month, we would say the second day in the month. We would do the same for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. We wouldn't say 6th of July. We would say 6th of July. We wouldn't say 17 of July. We would say 17th of July. So yeah, this is a list you should be familiar with. It is slightly intuitive once you keep hearing English, once you get exposure to English, but if you are struggling with remembering this, that's okay. Just remember the answer typically involves adding an t or a t is th or a d. Okay. Yeah, so for dates in spoken English, we always use an ordinal number. It's not the 4th of July, it's the 4th of July. So this is where it gets a little tricky. There are two ways of saying the date in English. Let's say the date is March 7th or the 7th of March. In America, we would go month, then day. We go March 7th. But in England, we go day, then month. So we would say the 7th of March. It's a little confusing, but you should make sure to remember this because if you're reading a date by an American and a British person, you might get confused. Also, in both American and British English, the year is the last number. Um, Even if the 7th isn't written in American English, when you speak, you still add the th or the th. So the numbers is where it gets tricky because if I say March 7th or the 7th of March, they sound the same. But if I say 3/7/17 and 7/3/17, those are two different dates. Right? If I say 3/7/17, I'm saying March 7th in America, but if I say 3/7/17 in England, well then I'm not saying March 7th. I'm saying I'm saying I'm saying the 3rd of July. So this in a British English would be the 3rd of July. In American English, it's March 7th. Do you see where it could get confusing? But in British English, we would write March 7th as 7/3/17. So in American English, we go month, day, year. In British English, we go day, month, year. So what day is this? Americans would say March 5th, 2018. But British people would say 3rd of May, 2018. There's a big difference. So just remember, Americans month, day, year. British people day, month, year. All right, for months. We memorized the months earlier through our little song. But another thing you should know is that we always start our months with capital letters. We don't say August with an lowercase a. We say August with an uppercase a. Now for years. Our years are divided into two parts. The 19 in this case is the century. 19 tells us this is in the 1900s. So we could say 1984 is when this event took place, or we could say it took place in the 1900s. We would also, when we're pronouncing it, we don't just say 1984. We say 19, we say the first two digits as one word, so we split it up into two numbers. We say 19 and then we say 84. They are two different words when we pronounce it. For the year 2000, however, we don't say 20, we say 2000. And for 2001, we don't say 20 and 1, we say 2001. Right, so let's practice. We would say this as 1995. We would say this as 1942. We would say this as 1968. Then we would switch for the 2000s one. We would say 2000, 2001, 2010. But if it were 2020, we wouldn't say 2020. We would say 2020, or we would say 2024, not 2024. So this 2000s rule only applies from 2000 to 2010. Okay, so how do we say the date? We could say it's Monday, it's the 19th. We could say it's the 19th. We could say it's the 19th of May. We could say May 19th. We would, if someone says, what is today's date? We could say the date is, today is, yeah. Okay. We're done. This one is a little bit tricky because there's American and British English, but I hope this was understandable.